Today, I invite you to spend 10 minutes with me talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is writing, creative writing. And this video is going to be dedicated to true crime discussions as well as crime drama and suspenseful thrillers. So stay tuned. Southern Fried Homicide is the name of the true crime documentary series that grabbed my attention last February. I was stuck home sick, recovering from COVID-19, the virus. And let me tell you, I was not happy. I couldn't work, I couldn't write, and I definitely didn't want to read a book. Now, you know that is strange for me, since I love everything about books. I also didn't want to listen to audiobooks. So, what did I do? I got comfortable on my living room floor, and I grabbed the remote, and I started searching. I didn't want to watch Hulu. I didn't want to watch Netflix. I didn't know what I was interested in. So I went to the public radio stations, and I just started scrolling and searching and looking, and then something caught my eye. The preview to Southern Fried Homicide. Yes, the title is cheesy, but this 10-part series lured me in. Southern Fried Homicide is described as murder with a side of homemade biscuits and gravy. Like I said, the title is cheesy and the description is even worse. I understand that the creators of this documentary series use this marketing technique, this strategy, in order to draw the viewing audience in and in order to keep them until the end of the series. And it definitely worked for me. I stopped searching and I began watching. So the marketing tactic did work. I was stunned and shocked and appalled at the strangulations, the stabbings, and the murders of 11 black women in North and South Carolina by a Henry Louis Wallace. Part of what drew me in was that I don't typically see crime series or true crime stories that highlight the tragedies and the murders of black people and black women in particular. So even though I was mesmerized and I watched and I felt a special kinship to these women because I worked in some of the fields that these women worked in, and I won't give you any spoilers. I won't spoil this series for you in case you choose to go and watch it. However, I, as I said, occupied some of the same jobs that these women had. I remember being their age and being young and full of life. And so this struck a familiar chord with me. I was also fascinated with how long this murderer got away with committing these heinous crimes. But I was equally captivated by the police force and how they finally solved the crime. Which leads me back to today's video. The true crime show planted a thought in the back of my mind. I didn't know it at the time, but I have been thinking about what it takes to write a successful crime drama or suspenseful thriller. This curiosity prompted me to do a Google search to find out what does it truly take to write a crime series. And I came across Jericho Writers, and I found information that I would like to share with you. Tips for Writing Crime Fiction and Thrillers by Harry Bingham. Number 1, know the market. Read as much as you can. Read as many authors as possible. But you don't have to read all of their books, their entire catalog. Just read one and move on, because what you are learning is their style, their technique, their prose. And you want to see the varying types of writing that are out there. 2, know the history of your genre. If you're writing crime and thriller, know the history, know the plot lines, know what has been used before so that you can be creative and innovative. Also, know that you are not limited to reading just fiction. Read relevant nonfiction. See what is being written about. See if there are any true crime books that capture your interest or touch on subject matter that you want to write about. If you're writing political espionage thrillers, for example, you need to know the political, military, and security background. If you don't, your readers will know that you are an amateur at this. Number 3, do not rely on old cliches. Cliches are overused or reused ideas and thoughts that are predictable and that are unoriginal. If you choose to write about, let's say, a serial killer or a terrorist bomber or a kidnapper, try to find a unique and original way of telling your particular story. 4, be complex. Your storyline, your plot line needs to be intricate. It needs to be well developed. You need to be able to execute twists and surprises and unexpected events or pieces of information that will just captivate your audience and keep them reading and keep them mesmerized. Number 5, stay dark. Keep your book dark and tough and gritty because you are not writing a romance novel. You are writing a crime drama or a thriller. And it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be sweet. It is not always going to be palatable. Number 6, don't forget jeopardy. Crime novels are also thrillers. You need to have the mystery there, you need to have the suspense there, and you need to have those moments where the reader just doesn't know what is going to happen next to the protagonist in the story. Their life is always in jeopardy, and their health and their safety is always at stake. Number 7, concentrate on the characters. People have read many stories about serial killers and victims. However, what differentiates one story from the other is the character development. Create characters that are memorable. Create characters that have distinct differences so that once the book is over, you are still thinking about that particular character because they left an impression on you. Number 8, write well. No reader wants to pick up a bad book. No reader wants to invest their time and their money in a story that is horribly written. So be competent in your writing. You don't have to be flowery. You don't have to be poetic. Just be concise, be practical, and express exactly what is in your head. Number 9, be economical. Write only what you need to write. Be concise, have your writing be tight, and eliminate unnecessary sentences, unnecessary paragraphs, unnecessary words. You, as the author of this crime drama, need to get right to the point. And number 10, be a perfectionist. According to Harry Bingham, you need to be better than good. You need to be as close to great as possible because you need to dazzle your reader. You need to create a space for you and your writing in the crime drama genre. Also, be aware that you need to be tough on yourself. You also need to be able to accept harsh criticism, constructive criticism.